Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yeah. Let's get excited. Another episode of Habari Live. Yeah, today we're going to talk about the big, beautiful, disgusting, fat, overbloated. It's a lot of bad things, man. But we're going to talk about the bill. We're going to go through some of the highlights, the lowlights, some of the things that people are saying that they like, and just going through the bill to just learn, for we can learn exactly what's going on and exactly who's going to be affected by these policies that's been being put in place right now. So, what else you want to talk about this morning?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about...
I have to go into everything just a quick, because I ain't did.
We're going to do a little bit about racism. We're going to do a little bit about school funding.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk a little about the Diddy trial.
Diddy. It's been a crazy week for him. He thought he was gonna walk home, but they wasn't feeling that. So he will be sitting there waiting until he gets his years and how much time he's gonna get. So we'll be waiting to see what happens. So good morning, Habari Ghani, my people. We are thrilled to bring you to the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the Pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live in Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I am Damon Dipleen Ellison and my co-host,
Iesha.
And we will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of our city. So let's get it going. So today, like I said, the first story I want to get into is just talking about Medicare, man, and some of the things that came through on this bill that Trump has passed. Not everybody's going to read all of it, so we just wanted to go through some of the big bulletin points and some of the things that you really need to know, for you can know exactly what's coming at you and how you want to, navigate the situation. So, what the hell? Why did it do that? But anyway. So let's talk about it. I know you all heard of the bill so far, the not so beautiful bill, how we're breaking health care for everyone. A lot of hospitals, they saying, are going to be closed because of this policies that's being put in place. They're talking about a lot of people will not be able to meet the requirements that they are putting in place for the work hours, for some of the other things that they are putting in place to make sure that you are working to get Medicare. And some of the other things that they are saying that you need to be able to prove for you can get access. So it's a very tough situation for people who, no one wants Medicare touched. No one. So we're going to dig deep, stay loud, and don't pull punches. Today we're talking about America's healthcare system, which, much like a vending machine with one blinking light and a bag of off-brand Funyuns, technically works. Technically. But not for long, and definitely not well, with this policy that Trump proudly signed into effect yesterday. So you got to think about the whole, when you're thinking about healthcare, we got to think about the whole system, everything that's going on. We got crowded ERs. We got people going to the ER instead of going to the doctor. People can't go and get checkups. No one can do the things that they need to do. And it seems like yesterday, America's healthcare system has long been a patchwork, and this bill that was put in place has made it worse. what you say, David Campbell. That's going to get a lot worse with rural hospitals closing. Yep, I agree with you. Jay, glad you're okay. Yep, I'm all right. I made it out. Russian, huh? Your bots, the Russian bots, you got to come. You got to change your language. Russian bots. Goodness. So yeah, man, our system has long been a patchwork of nightmares held together by duct tape, prayers, and unpaid medical bills. But now it's getting a glow up, according to the GOP. It's going to be one big, beautiful bill that's Trump signed yesterday. That's what they're calling it. It's trash, man. Trump is back with a plan, and just like his last healthcare plan, the one's most vibes and headlines and chaos. Let's start with the big shiny object in this bill: Medicare work requirements. That is the main thing that people are really gonna be upset about once these things start being put in place and people see exactly what's going on. What's up, Sammy? We're gonna have a lot of people questioning these laws that were put in place and how they decided that this is the best way to go to try to save money right now.
Hi, Ivy from California.
What's up, Ivy? How you doing? Appreciate you coming on. Are you from the States? Yes, I am from the States. So the main requirement is what they're talking about is the work requirements. Mm-hmm. So go get to work or get out is what they're pretty much saying. I mean, our healthcare system is an actual joke. I mean, it really is. It gets the womp womp, man. I mean, it's scary to be an American, man. You have no one on your side to make sure that you're gonna be okay when you're hurt. They'll let you be homeless. You'll be homeless paying medical bills. They don't care. That's the way this country rolls. And people don't care, man. They don't give a fuck. And this, greetings, Sammy from Germany. I'm Germany has a great system that I wish that we can duplicate when it comes to healthcare. It's a lot of right. Yeah, the American dream, man, it's a nightmare. I mean, they try to sell it as a dream, but we all know what's going on for real. It's a dream for the rich. Bro, right. I agree with you, Frank Lucas. The United States of Israel is
Sammy said Obama wanted to change.
A lot of people want change, man. Yep, and Trump wants to change it back. I agree. So we got a lot of people worried nowadays, man. A lot of kids are under Medicare, a lot of older people. So a lot of people who have a lot of stress on their back, who are working and trying to do the best that they can, they're in a bad situation right now because they're focused on trying to figure out how are they going to cover their kids. What are they going to do? It's tough, man. It's going to be tough, man. But under this new bill, if you're on Medicaid in 40 states or DC, you'll need to prove every month that you are working, volunteering, or in school for at least 80 hours, or you will lose your coverage. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. I mean, they're treating people like they're criminals. I mean, the mission is to get as many people off Medicare as they can. So it will hurt those, and people can't get their coverage. Mm-hmm. What are we saying here, Jesse Hagen? Work or die. Private equity is a pool of blood of labor costs. Anyway, man, most of these people that are getting Medicare and Medicaid and all these things, they usually have disabilities. They're usually really young or really old. And to put these people in the category of fraudulent people that are stealing from the system is pretty crazy. When most of these people are Trump voters from Republican states because they take more than they give. We as people need to unite and take back our power from the billionaire oligarchs. I agree 100%, Mr. Frank Lucas. 100%. We're letting the rich take over. They get all the incentives while we get bent over. That's what's going on today, man. That's the bill that just got passed. The billionaires, they celebrate. They just got a big tax break. While we just get SNAP benefits snatched and our health care snatched. And what are we happy about? Everybody clapping and celebrating. What are we celebrating? So, because nothing says efficient health care like trying life-saving coverage to bureaucratic paperwork hellscape. I mean, this is what the bureaucrats want, though. This is what the rich want. They want to be able to take your stuff away because you don't have a job in this system. It's a tough system to navigate in the first place to get a job. And then you're going to put this extra stress on people to make it even harder for them to even get health care. At least that was one thing that you didn't have to worry about. Yeah, you're right, Ivy. We got closing rural hospitals. But, you know, the rural areas, they love Trump. I guess it doesn't matter to them. I don't understand. So, I mean, it's a tough situation, man. And I wanted to talk about it. And you might not think, well, maybe that gets more people into the workforce. But here's the thing. It does not. It doesn't. There's no proof that work requirements get more people into the workforce when you're connecting them through SNAP benefits or Medicaid. There's never been any proof that this happens. What's up, Johnny from Singapore? Let's see, Jesse Hagan. Welcome back. Repeal Citizens United, public-private partnerships, fascism, the strong survive, centralized power. Okay. I've never seen anyone be turned away from an emergency room. But emergency rooms is not the way to go. And by people going to these emergency rooms all the time, this is what's driving up the cost. We need preventative care. We need people going to the doctor on a consistent basis so they don't have to go to the emergency room. Going to the emergency room kills the person. Your bills are 4 or 5 times more expensive if you just would have went to your doctor. So, like I was saying, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, most Medicaid enrollees already work or are enabled to do so because of disabilities, just like I said. Are they in school? Or they're caring for someone else, a loved one, children, seniors, elderly. That's what most people are doing that need this from Medicaid. So I don't understand why so many people are so happy to see this happen. If you're taking care of it, are they hopefully they're gonna use that as the system to count as work. If I'm taking care of my grandma, hopefully that's enough. Let me see, Marty Calmer. I paid for insurance for 40 years, single mom, raising a child, high school diploma. Okay, that's awesome. So what does this policy actually do? It kicks people off Medicaid for failing paperwork.
Yep. Jay said her grandmother's been saying this for 10 years now.
Oh, man, I agree with you, Jay. It's ridiculous, man. I hope it's a job if you're a caregiver, Krista. I hope they keep that, because that would it's not everyone is getting paid to be a caregiver. Some people are just caregivers, and they're not getting funds from the government and being seen as a caregiver. Some people just taking care of grandma, and they haven't put in paperwork to say, "Hey, I'm taking care of grandma for these so many hours a week." Because I know there's some people that, like I think what's your mom? She does that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She takes care of people. She gets paid. Was she a CNA?
Yes.
So there are some people who are just doing it because grandma's sick, she had a stroke, or whatever the situation is. So you can't just think that it's going to be counted as a job when some of these people are just taking care of their people. So we'll see what goes on in their situations.
What are we going to do about this? Are we just going to stand by and let the billionaires bend us over and take everything from us?
Hey, man, Frank Lucas, I mean, when we have people celebrating, when you got Amazon, Google, Facebook, they all behind Trump, and they're still calling the Republicans the elite. I mean, the Democrats the elites.
You're right.
They don't even see it.
Every state does allow caregivers to get paid. They do just have to
apply. They have to apply through the state, but yeah,
but not
everybody do that.
Not a lot of people know that they could do that.
Hey, go ahead, switch your brother.
No, not everyone knows that. Hey, I'm taking care of grandma because I'm the only one that's left in the family that's going to do it. They're not thinking in their head, oh, well, let me go get this money real quick as if it's a job because I'm taking care of my grandma. They're not looking at it like that. They're just looking at it like, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is family. I'm finna help out grandma. So they do it for free. Okay. Not everyone wants to go get paid for it.
Okay. All right. So I still think it's gonna hurt in the end. It kicks people off Medicaid for failing paperwork, like I said, and some people are just gonna be hurt by this. Now Georgia spent $90 million rolling out their version. Now, how much went to actual health care? Only $26 million. The rest went to bureaucracy, like always. It's like lighting money on fire with these people, but slower and with more Excel spreadsheets. It's ridiculous. As Dr. Chima Numanelli from Yale put it, the hidden costs are astronomical. You know what's also astronomical? The ER bills when you don't have insurance. That's what I said when I told you that people wanted to just go to ER. But those bills, especially when you don't have insurance, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Douglas going, I have to disagree with you because they are making the paperwork from the site. They're making it impossible. And they're doing this on purpose for people to fall through the cracks and people to lose their access. This is the reason they're doing this. If they didn't want anybody to lose their access, why would they put that in there as a money-saving provision? This is for them to save money, bro, because they know people are going to fall off. This is to help the billionaires get their tax breaks. They know that a lot of people aren't going to be able to figure this shit out. And they know some people aren't working. So you think it's going to be for the best, but I'm telling you, they already put this money in place. Okay, brother. I'm lying. Right. Anyway, I have no time for people going to call me a liar. Go look it up for yourself. Bring up the bill, man. Bring up the bill yourself, mister, and you'll see it for yourself. Death by distance. Rural America is going to bleed out. Let's talk about rural healthcare, which is already on life support in America. Already. This bill takes an axe to provider taxes, a funding trick states use to boost Medicaid payments to hospitals and nursing homes. And if that sounds complicated, here's the reality. Cutting these funds means hundreds of rural hospitals, many in places like Kentucky, Louisiana, Oklahoma, are going to shut down. It's going to be a rural hospital apocalypse. Just shutting down everywhere. The GOP knows this. By the way, that's why they threw a $50 billion Band-Aid into the Senate version, but researchers say it's still not enough because rural hospitals operate on a razor-thin margin. They can't absorb this hit without bleeding out, figuratively and literally. So, we're going to sit here and act like we don't see what's happening, and we're just going to cover our eyes and not talk about it because the Trumpers get hurt when the truth gets slapped in their face. But we're not going to play that game with them. We all know what the truth is. Krista York, rural America has been given $60 billion to ensure the hospitals, nursing homes, etc. are all running. Man, I don't know what y'all be reading. Our healthcare system is one of the worst in the world. The worst in the world. They need, if $60 billion, they must need more because they're saying with this. All right. All right. So let's look at the ACA marketplace, man, side of the bill. Remember the ACA Obamacare, the thing half of the country hates until they get sick and realize, oh, wait, I actually do want insurance. You hated it because it was made by Obama, but all the states need it. All you people need it. Well, under this bill, the government is tightening enrollment and verification rules. People would have to reprove everything, income, immigration status, and more every year and get less time to enroll. Even worse, if you need insurance mid-year, like if you lose your job or have a baby, you now have weeks without help while your paperwork is being processed. But that's the way they do it. That's how they're going to do it. If that sounds like a sneaky way to reduce enrollment and make premiums skyrocket, it's because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what they're doing. So you try to copay your way out of care. Oh, and if you manage to stay on Medicaid, get ready to pay more. The bill allows states to charge you up to $35 for services if you make just a little over the poverty line. This may not sound like much to some people, but for low-income families, even a copay of $5 can stop them from going to the doctor. I mean, this is going to be tough. And while primary care and mental health visits might be protected, if you go to the ER for a non-emergency state, could charge you even more or kick the bill to the hospitals. Because what better time to nickel and dime people than when they're bleeding in the waiting room? That's the system that we clapping for. I don't. We got to do something, bro. We just keep losing, and we have poor people sitting around fighting, talking about it's okay. So there's an immigration twist. The bill would take away ACA subsidies from lawfully present immigrants like asylum seekers and refugees, people we promised to protect. Many of them are young and healthy, which helps lower insurance premiums across the board. They're kicking them off the rolls. That raises premiums for everyone else. It's like shooting yourself in the foot just to make someone else limp. It's dumb. It's dumb. What the hell? So what is going on, dog? So what would work, man? So how do we fix this? Well, it turns out almost every wealthy nation on earth has figured this out, except us. Why can't America figure this out? Why don't we see the system? Why do we ignore everybody else's system in the world? Everybody else has a better system. Everybody else's life expectancy is climbing where ours goes in reverse. It's crazy. Why are we voting for people who are not putting towards ideas that's going to make our system better? Like, what are we doing? We all know Republicans don't want single payer health care. Mm-hmm. Why do we keep putting them in charge? You like your doctor, you like how much you're paying, you like that we have the worst system in the world. Every nation on earth has figured this out but us. What is it, man? It just doesn't make sense. They just pick one of the three options. Everybody else in the world, they either have a single payer system like Canada or the UK, or they have a multi-payer regulated market like Germany, the guy I was talking to earlier, or number 3, a hybrid system like France and the Netherlands. All of them do this because why? Because they treat healthcare like a right, not a roulette wheel. We spend twice as much per person on healthcare as most other countries do. Twice as much. What the fuck are we doing? We sitting here and see our shit is trash. We're spending 2 times, 3 times more than everybody else for worse outcomes. And we're just sitting around arguing, talking about it's okay. This is not okay. This a motherfucker coming to the board with straight F's on their report card, and you're like, nah, it's good. What the fuck, dude? You flunked.
You're right, Jay. It is all about the money.
All about money. And it's all about the money, man. Nobody cares as long as they getting their money.
Right. In 2023, Americans spent on average $14,570 per person on healthcare. This amounted to a total national expenditure of $4.9 trillion. $14,570 per person for the Hey y'all, it's Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken, Habari Entertainment sponsor. Let's go get it. Man, this Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. I ain't never had a piece of fish that tastes so good. I'm not a shrimp person, but they fried shrimps. It's so good. It's so good. The dressing and the greens and the cornbread.
There we go.
Okay, there we
All right,
go.
we're good.
Okay, we got it.
All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. We just had some sound troubles from out of nowhere. Who knows? But let's get back to the topic. God, why are you people so racist, man? Like, damn, dude, you don't have nothing to do but to wake up and be a racist, bro.
Right.
Like, dang. Go get a life. Like I was saying, we spend twice as much per person on healthcare as most countries, yet we get worse outcomes. Americans skip care more, die younger, and go bankrupt more often due to medical bills. That's not freedom, that's a broken system. It's broken. Thank you, Elijah. The system was trash, man. And we can't, it's something has to be done. You know, what Obama tried, he tried to put in the ACA and the Affordable Care Act, and it didn't really do much. But I thought it was a good idea to get everyone insured. Oh yeah, he Doug now. Peace out, Doug. Man, just be on some crazy stuff. So this big beautiful bill, we're gonna be talking about a lot of the different things that's gonna hurt, but this Medicare bill is gonna be one of them. That's gonna be a big problem. So we're gonna do everything we can to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on, and just want to give a final thought here on this. Trump's big beautiful bill isn't just not beautiful; it's deadly. It's bureaucratic, built to block the poor, the world, the sick, the immigrant, and the exhausted from getting care. And if we want to fix this, we have to stop pretending healthcare is a privilege you own with paperwork and paychecks and start treating it like the human right that it is. Until then, rural hospitals will continue to close. People will forego life-saving treatments, and lawmakers will continue to call it reform. We'll sit back, and all of us will be sick and dying because the food is horrible. They poison us there. They're poisoning us at the fast food places. They're poisoning us everywhere. Then we can't get decent health care. This should be a right as an American, man. And all Americans should be looking at this as this is a right. But it seems like so many people, they feel as though that if other people are getting care, they don't want that. And this is Christians, people who call themselves religious, don't want other people to get health care. What is that about? So this is the discussion for today on when it comes to Medicare. We'll get more back into it in the next couple of weeks, but stay loud, stay informed, and please, for the love of God and policy, don't let anyone sell you beautiful without reading the fucking fine print.
That's real.
All right, man. Let's go into the next one.
Yeah. This week for myself, I kind of wanted to focus on something that a lot of people will be triggered. They're going to be triggered. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the comment section now.
Right.
With how they're triggered. We're going to go ahead and discuss Tulsa's $105 million reparations plan.
Oh, goodness. Now, I know the mayor of Tulsa, I think, is a black man, and he's put some things in place that doesn't take tax money, but it's a plan. And yeah, let's go ahead and go through and tell us about it.
Yeah. So for those who may not know, here's a little context and backstory for you. In May through June of 1921, a white supremacist mob razed Tulsa's Greenwood district, then known as Black Wall Street, resulting in the deaths of as many as 300 black residents and the destruction of over 1,200 homes and businesses across 35 city blocks. Survivors received no compensation. Their insurance claims were refused. No one was prosecuted, and Greenwood never recovered. For decades, the massacre was omitted from our history textbooks and was largely ignored. On the road to repair, The initiative, Tulsa's first black mayor, Monroe Nichols, unveiled the Greenwood Trust, which is a $105 million private charitable fund, on the city's first Tulsa Race Massacre Observance Day, which was held on June 1st, 2025. Nichols frames this as a road to repair, avoiding the politically charged label of reparations, yet aiming to address centuries old harms.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's how this plan is going to break down. Elijah, that's Monroe Nichols. He's breaking it down into 3 separate categories: housing and homeownership,
Mm-hmm.
historic preservation and infrastructure,
Okay.
and economic development and education. Within the housing and home ownership category, he plans to allocate $24 million. The purpose for this is for down payment assistance and affordable housing, specifically for descendants of the Tulsa Massacre.
Okay.
In the historic preservation and infrastructure category, he plans to allocate $60 million for revitalization of Greenwood buildings,
Mm-hmm.
reduction of blight, and cultural restoration.
Okay.
And in the final category, economic development and education, he plans to allocate $21 million for scholarships, small business grants, land acquisition, and mass grave research.
Wow. Yeah, because it was supposed to be a lot of mass graves that weren't found. They found a couple, but there were some that wasn't found, and a lot of people think there were a lot more. So they want to try to do the best they can to try to find those, I guess.
Right. And he also plans to build beyond what he's already have. So we're going to go beyond the funding, right? The truth, the memory, and transparency. The city is releasing 45,000 pages of previously restricted documents related to the massacre. An additional $1 million budget has been allocated for identifying mass graves and genealogical work.
Okay.
To help identify.
That's dope.
There's also steps to follow. These steps will also follow a 126-page DOJ investigation, confirming that the massacre was a coordinated military-style attack, not spontaneous rioting.
Because there was some airplanes and bombs being dropped on the neighborhoods.
Yep. The community response and its legal context. Justice for Greenwood is a key advocacy NGO that has endorsed this plan, noting that it aligns with many strategies from their 13-point Project Greenwood framework.
Okay.
Housing, cultural preservation, economic restoration, official observance day, documents released, and mass grave investigations. However, the plan does not include direct cash payouts.
Right.
Does not include mass.
It's not taxpayer
direct
money anyway.
cash payouts.
Right.
The descendants, I don't believe it is.
No, it's money from private donors.
Private charitable fund. It is a private charitable fund.
Right.
That's why it does not include direct cash payouts.
Right.
To the descendants or to the 2 remaining survivors.
Wow, only 2.
Who are aged 110 and 111.
Dang.
Though through private philanthropy, they had previously stepped in. Earlier legal actions, including a lawsuit filed by survivors, were dismissed by Oklahoma courts.
Right.
Similarly, federal prosecution was barred due to statute of limitations. Something
disgusting.
We see all too much of.
Right.
But why does this matter?
Mm-hmm.
Tulsa's initiative is the largest local reparative effort tied to a specific episode of racial violence,
Mm.
and notably privately funded
Yep.
through using public assets.
Mm-hmm.
It echoes a broader debate on reparations nationwide, seen in places like Evanston, Illinois, but with a focused lens on racial terror and its enduring impact.
Yeah.
Mayor Nichols cites long term systemic harm, redlining, a highway bisecting North Tulsa, chronic underinvestment, and positions this plan as restoring what was stolen.
Mm. Well, I mean, I like that what they're doing. I think that it is needed. I believe that if this happened to any other American, where they blew up their businesses and
Mm-hmm.
terrorized and killed all these people, they would have got a lot of money. But you know, when it comes to us, it's always a problem, and it's always an issue to pay back people that were wronged.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the American way. So I it won't be any. It will not be any tax money.
Right.
So nobody can really complain about this. This is all private money. So no one can really say anything. Everybody's always scared that it's going to come from the government or from their pocket. So they
Mm-hmm.
always want something to say. Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't blow anybody up.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't kill that guy yesterday in the city, and that police officer who's getting sued for $1 million. You wasn't there either. But we still got to pay that dude for the mistake that police officer made.
Right.
You still have to pay for the decisions that a dude that you don't even know. So but you know, it's okay. It's always okay when it's us to just say, who cares?
Right.
Elijah, too damn much was going on in that assault on America by Americans.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's a long time ago, but you know, it's not taught in most schools because they don't want to teach it.
And for no one to be prosecuted because of statute of limitations. I thought murder
All
didn't
those
have a
people
statute
die.
of limitations.
Man, it's crazy. Crazy. And then, you know, and what year was the Tulsa 1918?
1921.
3 years earlier in East St. Louis, Illinois, they had a race riot in 1919 known as the Red Summer, were fueled by a confluence of factors, including the post-World War social tensions, competition for jobs and housing, racial discrimination, the return of soldiers from the war. It created a surplus of labor, increasing competition between white and black workers as the black people moved from the southern states to come to St. Louis area for jobs and work, to get out of the South and the slavery mentality they had there. Additionally, the Great Migration, where African Americans moved from the South to the North cities, led to increased racial tensions as white populations resisted the influx of black residents. The riots were often sparked by specific incidents, such as drowning of a black teenager in Chicago, and exacerbated by inflammatory media coverage and ineffective police response. So, First World War tensions, man, was a big deal. The end of World War I led to the demobilization of soldiers, both black and white, creating competition for jobs and housing. An economic slump worsened the situation with limited opportunities and increased competition for jobs. I mean, this is what was happening then, and that whole 10 years in the 20s was some of the worst times ever. As people rioted and fought over jobs and competition and everything else, it just became worse and worse and worse. So let's go into the top stories.
Right. Well, this week, the top story was for me that Trump hinted at deporting Elon Musk. Trump raises eyebrows this week after suggesting that he might consider deporting Elon Musk. Reigniting the tensions between the tech billionaire mogul, Trump's comments come after Musk publicly criticized Trump for his latest spending bill. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, Trump said that his administration would have to take a look at Musk's immigration status. Despite Musk being a naturalized U.S. citizen,
Right.
the statement appears to be largely rhetorical, but it adds fuel to the ongoing feud between the two influential figures.
Right.
Now they're just going to go for tit for tat for each other, so we'll see. Musk said that anybody that backs this bill, he was going to endorse the opposite candidate. So we'll see what happens on that front.
Yeah.
Also, this week, Arizona lost $118 million in school funding. The Department of Education withheld $118 million in funding that was scheduled to be released to Arizona schools on July 1st. These funds were part of the $6 billion national freeze amid the ongoing federal budget disputes. Arizona's education leaders say that the sudden halt threatens critical school operations and may impact our teachers' salaries, classroom resources, and our summer programs. Advocates are demanding answers from Washington, while the Department of Education has yet to even offer a full explanation as to why they froze these funds.
Terrible.
Now, I know Arizona wasn't the only state that came out and acknowledged that they had their funds frozen. I think at least 3 other states have confirmed that as well.
Hey, can you change the title to Trump Destroys Medicare? Top left.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead. Keep doing your thing.
Brian Kohlberger this week accepted a plea deal in the Idaho student massacre murders. Brian Kohlberger is the man that is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. He has reportedly admitted guilt as part of the plea deal so that he avoids the death penalty. Kohlberger was facing capital murder charges after the high-profile slayings shocked the college town of Moscow, Idaho.
That was a disgusting murder, man.
Yep.
He's a disgusting person, and whatever they give him, he deserves every fucking day.
And in exchange for life sentences without parole, Kohlberger confessed to the brutal stabbings, bringing it close to one of the country's most watched criminal cases of the past decade.
Yeah, man. What did this do? Arizona shouldn't get any federal funds for illegal immigration. Let the city. But what are you talking about, brother? We're talking about jobs. We're talking about school. I'm sorry, school funding. School funding. And then the number one thing is, why would you screw all the kids? Because we have a lot of immigrants here. And what are we supposed to do? Like you come with a plan, Mr. Timaxius. Like, you guys just be saying anything. You just say anything. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna take away funds from the city? You're gonna make it worse? Like, it's so stupid, dog. Suffer. You want everybody to suffer because you don't agree with someone? Like, dog, we understand. Aren't you doing the president doing everything already? You still want people to get hurt more? I mean, damn. What do you? That's fine. We know we have 26 watching. We had some technical difficulties and dropped off a lot of people, Mister. But yeah, we do okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We usually have more people than 26, but that's fine. What are you doing to help the country, the world, instead of just sitting around laughing at people?
Right.
What did you do today to help somebody? You came on here laughing. Go back to their country, right?
Why don't you go back to yours?
Man, dude,
Because I'm sick and tired of people using that
dog,
phrase.
that's all they want to tell. And they're not from here either. Go back to your fucking country.
Go back to Britain and Europe.
Always telling somebody to go somewhere. Like, dude, if they came here and if they're working and they're adding to society, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why you broke ass motherfuckers have a problem with it so much either. I just don't get it. Why does it hurt your britches so much that somebody's here working in the fields, working jobs that you won't even work? We're not seeing none of you old Trumpers going out there and getting in these fields. We've seen jobs being posted. We've seen many stories telling people that there's lack of people in the fields picking the strawberries. Get your ass out there, T-Mac. Go on out there. Get out there and pick. You say we don't need them. They want to say they feel threatened, right? Fuck out of here. When you send me a picture of you picking strawberries, then I care about your disgusting opinion. But we know you're not gonna do that.
I'm a citizen.
Man, yeah, I don't give a fuck if you was born here.
Your ancestors wasn't born here.
Don't matter. All of us from somewhere else. The only people can say that they are from here are the natives and the Mexicans, because they was here.
Yep.
Also, before these motherfuckers got here and started taking shit over. So it's really crazy when y'all and Arizona was Mexico.
Yep.
You think we're not gonna have Mexicans here? This was Mexico.
Come in through the front door like the real people did. They came in through boats and airplanes.
Dog, when the people came across Ellis Island, was that a front door? Because they had to set up posts because people were just coming. And you know what they were doing? They were just letting them in. Just letting them in. Why should they get paid to pick fruit? Because they're doing jobs that you lazy fucks don't want to pay. Do.
You don't want to go out there and pick the fruit to get paid, do you? So why are you mad that they want to pick fruit and get paid?
There was someone here before the Native Americans. Who? Who was here before the Native Americans, Mr. Steven? Please tell me who. Who? Who was here? What the fuck are you talking about?
Anywho,
ridiculous.
Moving on. Let's go ahead and speak on this Diddy case. In a shocking turn of events, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was found.
Why settlers stole a country, Mr. Goin. You stole it. You killed everybody. You didn't make a country. You stole it. Why don't y'all say it right,
Right,
man?
Jay. This guy.
You stole it.
This guy.
Killing me, man. Go ahead.
Oh, man. In a shocking turn of events, Diddy was found guilty on only 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution as part of a broader federal investigation into alleged sex trafficking. The verdict comes amid multiple civil suits accusing Combs of abuse and misconduct. While federal authorities say that this decision is just one piece of an expanding legal case that could have more significant implications for the entire entertainment industry.
Yeah, I saw Luke online, and Luke was saying, go ahead, hit that, bro. Luke was saying that it's going to be a lot of men facing charges for flying girls out, because that's how they're looking at this case. And you know, and a lot of these celebrities and a lot of these girls, their relationship is built on that. Mm-hmm. They're buying them stuff, they're sending them stuff, and they're flying out, going to where they need to go to. You know, that's the way it is. These Instagram girls. Right, but now people are going to start catching cases for this stuff.
Yep.
So I mean, I always knew that it was going to be tough to get him on a racketeering case. I always knew it was going to be tough to get that. I'm not sure why they went for a racketeering case. I'm not sure, man, but that was a bad move. The only thing they really had is he was abusive, and he was a voyeur, and he brings girls from different places to have sex in different places, and that's what they got him on, transporting women for prostitution. So I mean, They wanted to get him, but I just thought that this was the bad way to do it. But we'll see what he gets. I think they said for it's still 2 counts, and each count the maximum is 10 years. So he still could get hit. He still could be facing 20 years. So,
Right.
oh my OMG, Democrats fighting for cheap labor shelter. Man, y'all are crazy, dude. You go do it, Johnny boy. Go work in the farms. Yeah, go do it. $20 an hour. Do it for an hour. I bet you your motherfucking ass will quit. You don't. It's the businesses. It's their fault that they can't pay them the money. It's not on Democrats. It's not on no one else. They could pay a good amount of money, but they decide they want to pay bullshit money. But the problem is Americans are not going to do these jobs.
Look, I told you they was gonna be triggered. These people got the nerve to talk about reparations.
Man, dude, hey, these reparations, if you
triggered.
If you would have read, we're coming from private companies, so it had nothing to do with you.
Private charitable funds.
Private has nothing to do with you. Stephen Bailey. So evidence suggests that people may have been present in the Americas before the arrival of. Oh God.
You're right, Stephen. Before the arrival of Native Americans, the Americans were populated by groups known as Paleo Indians. These early inhabitants migrated
and then
Siberia.
Who do you think they became?
Across the Ringrid Land Bridge into North America, like following herds of animals. While the exact timing and routes are still debated, archaeological evidence suggests that this migration occurred at least 15,000 years ago, and possibly much earlier. While these Paleo Indians then diversified into various groups and cultures, eventually becoming the ancestors of the Native American populations that we know today.
So what are you talking about? These are that's how the natives got here. It's not before, they became them. And who did this stupid ass shit? Switch to me, bro. I never owned slaves, and you never owned slaves. Reparation is the most stupid idea of compensating people who weren't damaged. But yeah, that you might be right. But the problem is
they still have descendants that are
they
alive.
Never did anything. But reparations is not even something I even talk about. We were talking about reparations of people from Oklahoma City during Tulsa, my bad, Tulsa, Oklahoma, during the Tulsa massacre. This is not about reparations for slavery. So please catch up. This is about reparations for the people who are still alive, who lived through this, and the city and the town and the area, the places that were destroyed and never restored and never restored and never paid for things that some of them are still alive. I know that's hard for you guys. And also, it's no tax money. So it's not coming from you, just charitable companies and people who want to put up money to help the situation that they're trying to do. So it's nothing coming from your tax dollars. You don't have to say, I had nothing to do with slavery. Fucking idiots.
Let's go ahead and trigger them a little bit more.
Fuck.
Because a federal judge now questions Alabama's anti-DEI laws. A federal judge in Alabama is now weighing in on whether the state's new anti-DEI law, which restricts diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at public institutions, violates the First Amendment. Civil rights groups argue that the law amounts to censorship and infringes on academic freedom, while state officials are saying that it protects students from divisive ideologies. The court's decision could set a precedent as more states consider similar litigations. So we'll go ahead and keep you updated to see what happens in this particular case.
Rick Leese, please read something, bro. We're not asking for anything. I'm so sick of you motherfuckers. It's so annoying. Y'all are annoying, dude. You could spend your whole morning just being racist, trolling people. Like, dog, get a life. Aren't you the people who talk about pull yourself up by, like, go do something, bro. Nobody is asking for anything. And these are people who are going to put the shit together themselves, put the money together themselves to help Tulsa and get it going. So fuck out of here. Anyway. So let's go into the clips for today, man. How are we going to keep the language respectable, sir, when people aren't being respectable? Language and respectability, both of those things are earned and supposed to be mutual. You come on, you say a whole bunch of racist stuff and then don't like the language that's being spewed? Come on, man. Let's not do that. So let's go into these clips, man. First, we've got a packed show for sure today. So let's go onto the wild new stance, Trump's wild new stance to cultural protests and everything in between. You know, we're diving deep into this stuff. As always, we want your voice in the mix, so drop your thoughts in the comments as we go. So let's get into it. Trump wants to deport citizens. I mean, that's something that he keeps saying all the time. Let's start with this shocking clip. Trump says he wants to deport U.S. citizens. Yes, you heard that right. He wants to deport
U.S.
citizens. So go ahead and roll that, man. I think Trump won, I think. We are something with Trump, right? That's crazy. What the hell? What the hell, bro? But anyway, many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out. That's he said in the video. I don't know where I sent it. This isn't just xenophobia. He talked about getting rid of Musk. He talked about getting rid of the new primary window in New York. This isn't just xenophobia anymore. It's just straight up fascism with this dude. If you're born here, you're a citizen, period. So who is he talking about, man? I don't know, man.
Who knows?
Black folks, activists, immigrants, kids, the dog whistles, new foghorn. Let us know what y'all think. Who is Trump trying to get rid of now? All right, so let's go into this story when we got Bob Villain's visas was revoked. Next up, the U.S. has revoked visas for British rap punk duo Bob Vylan after they chanted against Israel's military at a show. No threats, no violence, just a chant. That was good enough to get them banned.
Yep. So what does this say about our freedom of speech in America?
It's trash.
You can be an artist with an opinion and still get silenced if it's the wrong one. Drop your take in the comment section. Is this free speech or selective outrage?
These are the people who've been saying the free speech all week, all year. That's all they've been to. Free speech for they can say the N-word everywhere. But anybody else say anything that they don't like, they kicking them out the country.
Right.
They don't want them online. Like these people are, dude, it's trash, dog.
Very.
We get to say the N-word, free speech. Then somebody say, I'm against Israel. And it's up.
Deported.
Get him out of here. What? Oh, man, dog.
Someone said it's pronounced like villain, not violent.
Oh, my bad. Thank you. I fucked it up. Villain, huh? Okay. But Trump's tariffs critics should go back to business school.
Yep, you're right. Here's Trump again.
I don't think I had this video.
This time, he's taking shots at economists and everyone questioning his trade policies.
I don't think I had a video. But just go ahead and do it, though.
I mean,
do I have
I don't have any Trump videos.
I don't know, man.
And Trump said they should go back to They should go to business.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. That's what he said. He said, go back to business school if you don't think his tariffs are working. Everybody's
he
confused.
knows the economy.
Everybody don't know what's going on. It's pretty ridiculous, dog. What is this dummy saying? Ha ha. Are you chat dipsticks saying Democrats are taking your money? What is wrong with you? How can you be so cosmic? I love it. Yeah, man. This is the same man who ran
For
6 bankruptcies. The irony is painful.
How do you go through bankruptcy? Not just one time,
Mm-hmm.
but you went through bankruptcy 6 times.
I mean, to go through bankruptcy, a lot of people go through it, but to say that you are a top-notch businessman and then you're
several of his businesses have gone through bankruptcy.
Exactly. So it's like you're not a great business person, dog, if you keep going through bankruptcy. Obviously,
Exactly.
you suck. So, but tariffs do hurt, man, the regular Americans, man. Prices have been going higher. Are you feeling them? Are you seeing it? Because I do. I see it in everything. And it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Kamala coming back, man, and she just wanted to let her opinion be known on the big beautiful bill and how horrible it is.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris is back in the spotlight, calling the latest domestic policy proposal a big, Trump's big beautiful bill.
Right.
Let's read what she had to say real fast.
Let's be real. It's giving Trump energy. What's exactly in the bill? Is it something that benefits working class families?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this just a corporate tax break with a bow?
Oh, man, we already know the answer to that. But anyway, this is what Kamala was saying. Thanks to Senate Republicans, 17 million people will lose their health care. Thanks to Senate Republicans, rural hospitals will close. Thanks to Senate Republicans, 3 million Americans, including veterans and seniors, will lose food assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Senate Republicans, families will see their energy bills go up by $400. Senate Republicans are doing all of this and more, hurting working people across our nation in order to pay for $1 trillion in tax cuts for the billionaires. There is still time. No, it's not. It already passed. Right. But anyway,
it passed yesterday.
It passed yesterday and signed it. So it's done. So she came out, to try to get people to call their representatives, but everybody, celebrating the 4th. Nobody's really tripping off what's going on, man. Most Americans don't even know this bill is going through. Good illegals and leechers, all of them. Yeah, man. I can't wait till this hit rural America, and they're gonna be so hurt. They think it's just gonna hurt illegal.
His bankruptcy strategy is in full effect for the American economy.
Oh my goodness. Only able people who refuse to work. You think so, Shine? Do you think that they packed in all this savings in that bill and it's only going to hurt people who refuse to work? Okay, we're going to see. It's going to be a lot of people who are going to be confused with the paperwork, not get the paperwork in time. There's going to be a lot of people who's going to be losing their access. Mm-hmm. And that's for his rich buddies can get a tax break. There are no tax cuts. Why are you rich? Are you rich? Why are you worried about them? Why do y'all make all y'all policies based off these motherfuckers? Fuck them. Let's be real, because they don't give a fuck about us. You think Elon Musk thinking about people, middle-aged, middle-class people? You think he thinks about us and what we have going on? He don't give a fuck about us. At all. But y'all always worried about their money. He don't care, man. They'll take everything from us. They'll take every tax break they can and bend us over if they could every day. I just don't, man, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Illegal immigration, you people act like it's all on Democrats. Who was the last person that gave immigrants a free asylum and gave them a free pass, citizenship?
I think it was Reagan.
Definitely it was Reagan. That's why a lot of them vote Republican, because who gave them a chance to come into America? Republicans. But you think that, because Biden and people were coming to the border for asylum in mass numbers, that it was just illegal, everybody just coming in. He also helped a lot of people from Haiti because Haiti was going through a lot of different things. No, you don't understand. There isn't a tax out there that won't affect the rich, meaning any tax cut given to the poor will also be used by the rich. I guess, man, they are pretty tax savvy. So they know more how to navigate the tax system than the average person. Biden never opened the border. I wish you guys would just stop saying stupid shit. was never an invasion. Nothing like that. Please stop. He did a bad job. He saw the optics that was going on and the things that was being used against him. And instead of him going down there and getting more judges, more people down on the border to help the flow that was coming in, they did nothing. And also, when they did try to get a bill in, it was blocked by Trump and the Republicans. They didn't care that much about immigration. They just wanted to use it for you, because that's the type of shit you care about. So who knows, man? Is Kamala connecting with the voters this time around, or is this just spin? I don't know, man. Kamala's, she I don't know, brother. I don't know what she's trying to do. But let's go into the next video, man. Senator Lisa Murkowski defends her vote.
Yeah, you're right. Senator Lisa Murkowski was cornered on her support for this massive GOP domestic bill. So let's go ahead and play out what she said.
Biden went to the media. Boy, stop lying. Go ahead. My bad.
Do I like this bill? No, I don't. But I fight for my state's interests, is what she said. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Yeah,
Yes.
Murkowski.
Senator Paul said that that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
Our basic question.
Senator, we've got the.
You like what?
I didn't say it, ma'am. I'm just asking for your response.
My response is I have an obligation to the people of the state of Alaska. And I live up to that every single day. I fight for my state's interests, and I make sure that Alaskans are understood. When people suggest that federal dollars go to one of our 50 states in a, quote, bailout, I find that offensive. I advocated for my state's interests. I will continue to do that, and I will make no excuses for doing that. Do I like this bill? No, because
But you voted
I
for
tried
it.
to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there
Why would you
are
vote for something
Americans
you don't like?
that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that.
Why would you vote for something you don't like?
She was able to get provisions put in place for her state to make sure that the people of Alaska won't lose as much Medicare and SNAP benefits as other states. So she put in some last minute workings to try to help her state out and was able to do that. So then so she voted to fuck everybody else while saving her behind. So all the other states will get fucked because they did not do the other states. They didn't care that these provisions are being put in place, even though they know that all these red states have the most Medicare and SNAP recipients.
And the blue states are the ones paying for it.
Always. So we're gonna.
But they the
see.
loudest crybaby.
She admits the bill sucks. Voted for it anyway. This is the type of politics that leaves people fed up. Is this hypocrisy? What is it?
Yep. Alaska's interests or corporate interests? Let us know in the comment section what you think she did.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy to see somebody realize that, hey, man, this is gonna hurt my state. Let me try to let me do what I gotta do for my state. Yeah, but dog, at the same time though, Johnny boy, she's voting to screw all the other states.
Right.
I understand she took care of her state, but why would you vote for something and knowingly you know it's gonna hurt the other states?
Fight for my state. If I didn't fight for my state, I'm gonna suffer the same fate as these other states on this issue.
Right.
But I'ma still vote for it because I want to fuck to everybody else. But I want to save my own ass.
I mean, that's
bullshit.
On, that's ridiculous. All right, so video 4. Switch it up, bro. Everglades protests at DeSantis' stupid ass alligator Alcatraz. Big turnout in the Everglades this weekend. People are protesting Ron DeSantis' stupid migrant tent prison, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz. These people think everything is a fucking game. They think everybody's life is a game. They think this is a fucking reality show. I do not like these people, dog. It's crazy. It's a wild name, but this is a deadly serious. These detention camps in Florida are being built in swampland. People are calling it inhumane. They don't care about that. So we wanted to ask, is this about border control or cruelty? It's cruelty, period. That's what they are. They're cruel people. They want to be cruel. They want to be cruel as possible, be the biggest pieces of shit as they can, fuck everybody's lives up that they can. Go ahead and run the fucking video.
Hey! Yeah. They love it when you honk. It's amazing.
Oh man, people are fed up, man. People are fed up with the bull. They're just fed up with it, man. I just don't understand people. What are we doing? I just don't get it. No, you're wrong. Murkowski is a Republican, so she's not a Democrat. Anyway, so, people are sick of it, man. People are out and about and they're mad. Let's see here. What we got in the comments. It's important to be cruel to those who need to take the message back home. Very cruel. That's what Jesus said, right? That's exactly what Jesus said. You Bible thumping motherfuckers, man, are the sickest, ugliest people I ever met in my life.
They don't like nobody.
Y'all are acting like the alligators are inside the jail. You're literally crying about, oh my goodness. Why would they bloat and gloat about the alligators if it wasn't dangerous, if somebody was to be out there and getting eaten by them? That's why they're talking about it. That's why they call it that. They think they've made some new prison to keep people trapped. People who did nothing that deserves the type of prison that they're building for. You don't want people to come in, you have to do the work to try to make sure that people get to go to court, get their day in court, speak the reason why they want asylum. That's what America's about, man. I know you people want us to be like every other country in the world, but we've always been the one that let people come in. I bet your mother and father came in Ellis Island, and the reason why we let them in is because what we are today. But because the people are brown, it's a fucking problem. You think all those fucking Italians that came here, you think they came here legally? You think they had some paperwork that they sent in before then? Or do you think they just came in on a boat and jumped off and just told the dude their name because it happened to be a guy there because they knew all these people were coming?
Right.
Like, you don't have any moral high ground on this. Like, this is disgusting the way you people talk. Just disgusting. Cruel, cruel people, man. So Joe Rogan speaks on Gaza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe Rogan shocked many with his blunt take on Gaza. The clip that you're about to see, Joe Rogan is saying what they've done to Gaza is effing insane. Women and children are getting blown apart. So let's go ahead and roll that video with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, October 7th was awful. Absolutely.
Obviously.
Terrible attack. Mm-hmm. But also, what they've done to Gaza is fucking insane.
It's insane.
And if you can't see that, if you can't say that, and your response is, Israel has the right to defend itself. Like, what are you talking about? Against what? Children?
Right.
Against women and children that are getting blown apart? Against aid workers that are getting killed?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, we can't have a rational conversation if you're not willing to address that.
Yeah. I think their heart
is hardened. If I'm trying to be as charitable as possible, like the Israelis specifically, maybe from the October 7, what they saw there, their heart is hardened. And I think a lot of people, especially on the Republican side, they're unable to see the Palestinians as humans,
Right.
especially as people with emotions and feelings and all of that. And
Like, imagine if that was happening to Scandinavia, you know?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's very strange.
My dad is a Palestinian refugee.
Yeah, you were telling me the story, and
Yeah.
I want to get into that because
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. Like, tell the whole story of how this wound up happening.
Yeah. So my family is originally from Haifa, which is now in Israel, and they were expelled as part of the 1948 Nakba, where Palestinians were sort of kicked out, and they went to like.
How does your dad describe that? How old was he when that was going on?
My father was born in Syria. So my grandma and my grandpa and my uncles were kind of kicked out, and the way they would describe that is they try to fight, they try to like keep their home, but it was like this overwhelming force. They weren't organized. They were just like, and he was always interested in technology. And
that whole thing where kicking people out of Palestine is such an inconvenient story today. When people are talking about Israel and Palestine and the conflict, they do not like talking about what happened in 1948.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Like I think for us to reach some kind of peace, which is really hard to talk about when you see what's happening in Gaza, even yesterday.
Yeah, the people that were waiting for food got bombed.
Yeah,
it's insane, and no one wants to talk about it.
Right, but if you
do talk about it, you're anti-Semitic, which is so strange. Like, I don't know how they wrangled that.
Well, it's been hard for me in tech because like probably the only prominent Palestinian in tech that is talking about it, and so that's.
Do you get pushback?
Oh, of course.
Lots of what do people say to you?
Anti-Semitic.
How is it anti-Semitic?
I criticize the state of Israel. Our position, every moderate Palestinian that I know, their position is like two-state solution. We need the emergence of the state of Palestine.
Yeah, man, that was a little long one on that one. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, switch it for me. But this is one of the most influential podcasters in the world. And he's coming to some positions, lately that most are, kind of surprised by.
Right.
He's calling out these war crimes. Will it shift public opinion? Probably not.
Yep.
Most Democrats are against it, but we have a big contingent of Republicans who are for this.
Yep. And some say that he went too far, and others are saying that he's finally speaking the truth. But where do you land on the situation? Let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
So, I had a comment go up. Can you scroll up? I had a comment where a person was talking about, go down. Go to, what is it? No, he was talking about, there we go.
Both sides of my family. Show
that for me. Dan says both sides of his family legally immigrated to the U.S. after World War II. My grandfather had to prove he didn't commit war crimes in Austria. These people coming in illegally have to prove nothing, which is absolute trash. They have to prove everything, Dan. You think they just let people in? You have to prove who you are. You have to take your court date and say that you're going to be back on that day. Now, the people who don't come to court, skip their court date, skip out, those are the type people who get sent, who should be sent home. But if you're coming to your court dates, doing everything you can do to show up for and speaking your case for asylum, what's the problem?
Right.
You know how hard it is to get asylum in this country? Most of them are not going to get it anyway. But you still should have the ability to do that because that's what America is about. So number one, generally speaking, immigration rules and requirements are considered way more stringent today compared to the era of Ellis Island. limited federal regulation during the Ellis Island era until the late 19th century. There was very little federal oversight of immigration. Immigration was encouraged, and relatively unrestricted back then. So the people was just coming because they were asking people to come.
You're right. But the United States began establishing immigration laws relatively early within its creation. With the first significant federal legislation, the Naturalization Act of 1790, which focused on naturalization for white immigrants.
Right. I mean,
however, like you were saying, the federal government's direct involvement with regulating immigration laws grew significantly within the late 19th century and early 20th centuries, particularly with the Immigration Act of 1891, which established a federal agency to focus and oversee the United States immigration.
So, limited federal regulation back in the day. They had arrival-based inspections like they still do, and they don't want that. Y'all want to get away from the arrival-based inspections. But that's the way they did it in this Ellis Island. They just arrived. They didn't tell anybody they was fucking coming. But now all that is brown people, oh my God, they're just coming. They've been doing it like this forever. But I guess it's supposed to change. It's supposed to change now. It was no different. Nobody cared who was coming. You just had to check. Immigrants could simply show up at the ports of entry, like Ellis Island, where they would be inspected and allowed entry unless they fell into a specific excluded category. Today's stringent requirements, modern immigration laws, are more complex and require potential immigrants to have close family ties to U.S. citizenships or permanent residence, have employment offers from U.S. employees to qualify as a refugee.
Yep.
Today's laws would have prevented many individuals who immigrated during the Ellis Island era from entering the U.S. legally. You see, when your parents came, it was easy. But these people are having it way more different. They have way more stringent laws to come here.
Way more restrictions.
Way more restrictions. Them motherfuckers were just able to come on a boat and, oh, my name is this, and just come on in, man.
Yep. And it wasn't until the 20th century that the United States saw a shift towards their more restrictive policies. Laws like the Immigration Act of 1917 and the Emergency Quota Act of 1921 introduced literacy tests, increased taxes, and national origin quotas, with the latter favoring immigrants from Northern and Western Europe.
That's right. What do you say, bruh? That was when our country needed people to contribute. We still need people to contribute. That has not changed. We still need people to contribute, man. I don't know why you people think that this is different. That's why right now the farmers are already having issues with hiring people. We're already having issues with the motherfucking fruits and vegetables coming off the farms. The prices are already going up. And you think it's not needed, but it is, because you live in your little racism bubble. These people it's okay. It was okay when it was the Italians and the Irish. While they were inspections and some excluded categories during the Ellis Island period, medical checks for diseases like trachoma, the overall system was less complex and focused on sorting rather than deterrence. Today's system is, in contrast, involves stricter documentation, eligibility criteria, and a greater emphasis on border security, because that's all the Republicans about now. So yeah, they always talking about when my parents came. But when your parents came, it was a different day. Yep. And believe it or not, some of you don't know, they were just as pissed when the fucking Irish and Italians came.
Yep, because there were restrictions.
They hated them.
The laws.
They hated them.
For they gave even more restrictions in the 1920s for Asians and other countries coming in.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They made it even harder
You can't do
for people that had some sort of color on their skin to even get into the country.
Look, dude. It should be something that you could debate, because you if you're thinking about how this is going and how people are treating these other people.
Yep.
And we have to do something. We have to do better. We want people to come to America, man. That should be, we want people, still want people to come here, because our population growth alone is not going to keep America growing, and we have to keep growing. Believe it or not, man, that's we have to keep growing, or we're going to lose.
Wages are up. I wonder why.
Wages are not up.
Got rid of
cheap
slave labor.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah, cheap slave labor is going to help your. Do you work at these slave jobs, bro? Because I don't understand how that helps your situation. How? Explain to me how cheap slave labor is going to help your wages go up, please. Unless you're in that field, are you in the slave field?
Right.
What are you doing? So CNN dropped a surprising report saying the Democratic base is against Israel than people think. So let's go.
It's a complicated moment. Progressives are louder on Gaza, but does that not reflect the actual numbers of voters?
Let's see what they say, man. Go ahead and run that clip. It's the CNN. There we go.
The CNN one.
Andrew Cuomo, during the primary, attacked Mandani as being insufficiently pro-Israel. I'm not quite sure the former governor understood how much the politics have changed around this issue among Democrats. What are we talking about here? All right, who Democrats sympathize more with, Israelis or Palestinians? In 2017, the Democratic Party was a pro-Israeli party. Look at this. They sympathized with the Israelis by 13 points, more with the Israelis than the Palestinians. But look at this sea change. Now Democrats sympathize more with the Palestinians by 43 points. Oh, my God, that is a change in the margin of 56 points over the course of just 8 years. So all of a sudden, it's the pro-Palestinian position that actually reigns supreme in Democratic politics, not the Israeli position. And that is part of the reason why Mandani was able to do so well in this primary, because those attacks over Israel, simply put, did not ring true for Democrats. They're now on the side of the Palestinians, not the Israelis.
I mean, this is a much bigger issue, specifically with Mandani, though. I mean, an outspoken critic of Israel. He's facing continued criticism, though, for not being outspoken enough against anti-Semitism, that is for sure. But on this, talk about Democrats and how this really is shifting.
Yeah, so, you see this among Democrats overall, right? But we know that Mandani's base was younger voters within the Democratic Party. And so I want to break it down
with younger Democrats.
Correct. So take a look here. Who age 18 to 49 Democrats sympathize more with, the Israelis or the Palestinians? Again, in 2017, younger Democrats sympathize more with the Israelis by 14 points. Look at this shift now. Palestinians, they sympathize more with the Palestinians by 57 points. That is an over 70-point shift in the margin in just a matter of 8 years. So the bottom line is, Mandani's base within the Democratic Party and the base of the Democratic Party of younger voters, younger Democrats, have changed tremendously on this issue in 8 years' time. I rarely ever see shifts like this, Kate, in which you see one side of the equation leading by 14 points 8 years ago, and then all of a sudden the other side of the equation leading by 57 points. The bottom line is the politics around the Israelis and the Palestinians have shifted tremendously among Democrats, and they've shifted specifically tremendously among Democrats who are under the age of 50, younger Democrats who are Mandani's base, and also the base of Democratic socialists like himself, like Bernie Sanders, like AOC. They have just shifted more so than I think that anyone could possibly have imagined, say, 8 years ago.
I mean, you got to think about the shift and why people are shifting. People are sick of it, man.
There goes Douglas again.
Oh, my goodness. So you got to think about it, man. People are sick of it. They're sick of the pictures. They're sick of the videos. Mm-hmm. They're sick of waking up to children dying, getting blown up. They're over Israel. At first, it was a lot of people, even myself. I was like, yeah, I understand that, they were attacked. But after 6-7 months of them blowing up the whole city, No, I'm not with this anymore. I don't like what they're doing. You know, they've always been people taking the land in the area. They've taken 90% of the land any goddamn way. Got these people living on nothing but the Gaza Strip. This whole century, man, since they've been over there, they've done nothing but garbage. Now, I'm not going to say the other side hasn't done horrible things, because they have. But when it seems like the most horrid things are coming from the people who are supposed to be the fucking good guys, as they call themselves, and they're killing little kids, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. I understand why people are changing their sentiments, why people are changing their minds, why people are not with anything that they're doing. Blowing up dude, if you don't know what's going on in Gaza, I don't know. I don't have to, I can't tell you this. Because I mean, this is on the news every single day. And for you to come in here and ask those dumb, asinine questions, you must be special. Yeah, there is no special. You're right, Douglas, because the racist Israelis are taking them all out. And y'all celebrating about it. I mean, it's disgusting what they're doing. It will blow your mind. Yeah, man, Israel is very small. I already know that. It's only a corner of the map out there. It's very small. And you know, that's why, you know, they say that's why they're so fierce. They're surrounded by enemies. But hey, they don't support with love. They support with war. So it's hard to follow anything that they are doing, the IDF. I do have a very full picture, man. A very full picture. Full picture of seeing kids blown up, schools being blown up. We talk about that area and we know how treacherous and how urban the area is. Instead of them taking a scalpel to the area, going through, making sure to try to find the terrorists, they're just openly carpet bombing everything. And for you to be with that, you have to be disgusted. You have to be. There's no ifs and ands or buts about it. So do you agree with CNN's take, or are they ignoring the younger activist wing? I think that a lot of younger people are going against this. So since somebody called Mamdani a terrorist, let's go into Zoran Mamdani saying he'll arrest Netanyahu if he came into the city.
Yeah, New York Assembly member Zoran Mamdani didn't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
He said flat out that he would arrest Netanyahu if he ever lands in New York. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Mayor Mamdani, would you welcome Prime Minister Netanyahu to New York City for whatever he comes for, given the US is not a signatory to the ICC, so he can travel to the US, unlike a lot of other countries. Would a Mayor Mamdani welcome Benjamin Netanyahu to the city?
No. As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the US is not a signatory to the ICC?
No, it's time that we actually step up and make clear what we are willing to do to showcase the leadership that is sorely missing in the federal administration.
Hey.
Couldn't agree more. This administration definitely has a lot lacking.
Dude, Netanyahu is a war criminal. Now I don't know if this guy has the ability to arrest him. I doubt it. Some say I think it's a bold answer, but he probably can't do it. But some are calling it performative. Others call it leadership. Either way, it sparked major backlash. Trump is talking about deporting him, and everybody's calling him a terrorist. So we see, man, and you know, Mamdani, he's pushing the envelope. He's bringing new ideas, and you know, people hate new ideas.
Yep.
And
one of those ideas that he has, that Mamdani has, is for the government to run our grocery stores.
Right.
What do you think about that? How do you think that would work?
Well, myself, you know, I was listening to what he was saying and his ideas of why he wants to do this, and it's just more to give people affordable options when the groceries today aren't doing that, man. It's really tough, man. People aren't able to afford groceries, and also there are a lot of food deserts.
There are a lot,
and especially in in urban areas, black areas where there's no other options, man. People have nothing but the fucking bodegas or corner stores. So to give more options for grocery stores would be good. And the capitalists aren't going to like this because they'd rather see people starve. They'd rather they see that these food deserts are hurting people, that people are getting more and more obese. We see that people have heart disease, diabetes. We don't care. We see all the problems, just ignore it. Who gives a fuck about them?
I was trying to find the exact number of food deserts that we have in America, but there's no exact pinpoint to the exact number.
Yeah.
But according to the USDA, they have previously identified at least 6,500 food desert census tracts in the U.S.
Now, Samuel Smith want to come on and say you people steal, but there are a lot of these food deserts, Mr. Racist, in rural areas. Very white rural areas. So to just blame it on stealing, it's not always that. So stop the racism bullshit.
These food desert areas are areas where a significant portion of the population live a mile or more from a supermarket in urban areas, in these rural areas, or 10 miles or more for like we were saying, the rural areas. According to the Annie E. Casey Foundation, that translates to roughly 39 million Americans.
Yeah, man.
Living in low income, low access food deserts. 39 million.
He say, Sam say food desert is made up. Man, bro, you need to go read something.
If it takes you an hour or more to get to your supermarket or to the nearest Walmart or to the nearest grocery store, that, brother, is a food desert.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a tough situation, man. And, coming from a place that didn't have many grocery stores, we went to the corner store to get most of the things. And then you go to the corner store, the stuff is marked up really, really high. You're buying unhealthy foods because you don't have vegetables and fruits as options. So it's a hard situation, man. We do need more grocery stores. But, a lot of these people don't see a reason to put a store there because they don't see how it's going to help their pockets. And that can't be the only reason how people get grocery stores is because some rich guy decides, hey, I can make some money there.
Yep.
Sometimes things are needed and it can't be a guy who's going to get rich off of it.
My friend just lost her grandmother in Mississippi because the hospital closed in the area and she had to be airlifted, passed away. That's the shit that we're talking about. Hospitals closing.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, Renee. I'm sorry for your loss.
That's terrible.
But these are the kinds of things that we're referring to today. When we're looking at states like Mississippi and areas like Mississippi and Kentucky that are losing access to their healthcare facilities. And then we have things like this that happen. And America gives zero fucks about anyone that has to go through any of these things.
Now, cardboard clown, I agree. The amount of food that they throw away, the amount of food that they could give to food banks and they just throw it in the trash can.
Because they don't want to be held liable if someone has an allergic reaction to the food product.
I know the bullshit excuse, but California threw that away. So now they have to throw I believe they have to take it to a food bank. Because it's ridiculous, man, that people are starving and they're sitting there worried about somebody gets sick. Man, I seen they was throwing away food because of the dates on the cartons, and the stuff is still good because those are just suggestions.
Yep, just a suggestion.
And they just throwing out just thousands and thousands of dollars of food instead of just giving it to somebody, man. Somebody could use it. Somebody could use this. But in this, I don't care. They're locking up their trash cans because they don't want people to eat. They'll rather put the lock on the trash can. Like this is America. You'd rather the food sit there and rot than to give it to somebody.
Yep. They would rather food go to waste than to help someone out.
It's ridiculous.
Food go to waste rather than help the homeless. Make it illegal for the homeless to do anything. Make it illegal for them to dumpster dive for the food that you threw away that was perfectly okay for you to give away to them. Something that you could have used as a write-off on your business expense.
Yeah, man. It's disgusting, man. All the money that these people have, all the money.
Right, Jay. The lock on a trash can is crazy.
It's crazy as hell. They don't want anybody. They just don't want anybody to eat. They'd rather somebody starve. Buy a lock. We don't want them eating. We don't want them getting this old food that we're throwing away.
Cardboard clown. I completely agree. It's all money. They don't care about people getting sick. They care about liability.
Yeah, unfortunately. So another week, another storm of stories, y'all. We are in the middle of a political identity crisis in this country.
And we want to help you shape the narrative. So comment below, tag a friend. Let's make your voices heard.
Let's do it, man. And like always, we're here every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to talk about what's going on through the week, what's happened, what's changed, how does it affect you. And I want you guys to be here, subscribe, make sure to share with others, turn on your alerts so we can get more and more information about what's going on, man, and have these discussions so we can figure out ways that other people can help themselves and we can help others. What is this dude here talking about?
We don't care about the homeless.
All these fat ass people on welfare, and you saying we do have food deserts. What are you talking about? People, I just explained to you
we just identified
clearly
6,500 food deserts in America.
And also, people are fat because they don't have options.
They don't have access to healthy food.
Healthier foods. They have access to garbage.
Processed bullshit.
Processed garbage. Maybe if we had a store that was giving more fresh ingredients out, then we wouldn't have these issues.
Exactly. Yes, Troy. People are starving in this country. They are.
They definitely are. They definitely are. So like always, stay informed, stay loud, and always stay unapologetically you. I really appreciate everybody, Habari Nation. We're going to go into some more real quick here.
Let's go into some uplifting stuff with some sports and some comics. Go ahead and roll that sports for us.
Habari Sports.
Oh, yeah, man. Another great show. We really appreciate everybody, man. But we're gonna talk about what's going on in this sports world. We had NBA free agency start off. Kicked it off with a lot of I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it was a dud. It just wasn't exciting as other years. You know, you get excited for it, man. It doesn't seem like it was really exciting this year. It's just garbage. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that happened. Well, we have the big signing. The Lakers did get DeAndre Jordan, Aiden. I'm sorry. Not a big pickup for them to me. I just think he's just not a great player, man, and I don't think it's really gonna help them as a team. But hey, what do I know? The frenzy, it started this year, and I just thought it's just not as fun as it used to be, man. It used to be really fun and exciting, and the official frenzy started 3 days ago into the madness, and the league is flipping upside down. Not really. KD was moved to Houston. Dame is out of Milwaukee. And the big men are certainly the hottest commodity since Supers teams in 2010. Now I doubt it. Let's break it all down. Winners, losers, and the moves that matter most. The winners for sure is the Houston Rockets. You got to give it to them, man. What they've done and who they brought in has definitely helped. The Rockets came into the free agency looking like a young team on the rise. Now they look like a legit contender. They got Durant. You know, he's still efficient. He may not have done anything to help winning in Phoenix, but he's still efficient. You got to get that to him. So if he has more help in the places and doesn't have to be the leader, he can do something, I guess. Houston pulled off the heist, I guess they call it a heist. Landed KD without giving up any of their core guys or prize picks. They doubled down, adding Dorian Finney-Smith, Clinton Capella, that was good, and bringing back Van Fleet on a restructured deal. But that's pretty cool, man. Durant's still one of the most efficient scorers alive. Capella rebounds, rim protection, and upgraded their wing depth over Dylan Brooks. Van Fleet, he is a steady leadership. Jabari Smith Jr. extended. Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green, and Jashawn Tate all re-signed. The Rockets are deep, balanced, and physical. OKC better watch their back. The West just got a little tighter with that. One of the biggest losers are the Lakers. I'm pretty happy about that. They have big problems and big moments, man. The team is just spinning its wheels. The Lakers, they traded for Luka Doncic, gave up Anthony Davis. They fumbled a key follow-up move, a deal for Mark Williams that fell apart due to a failed physical. Now they're stuck with DeAndre Ayton on a 2-year player option deal. He's not the rim runner Doncic thrives with. He doesn't space the floor, and he's a peak might have come 5 years ago. And he's not a reliable center. And balanced roster and pressure to convince Luka to sign long term. And this looks like a little messy in LA, man. Your mouth is out of sync with your words. I don't know what's going on. It may be your streaming. Who knows? I'm sorry. I don't know. So the big men are back, man. We got this free agent frenzy has a theme. Big men are back in the NBA. After a decade of small ball talk, the NBA is swinging the pendulum back to size and rim protection. Just look at some of the moves. Denver gets Valanciunas back up Jokic. Milwaukee signs Miles Turner and Jericho Sims. Spurs add Luke Cornett next to Wemby. Knicks get Gershon Yabusele to play alongside Cat and Mitch. Raptors re-sign Podol, land Sandro Mamakalashiki, and Suns bring in Mark Williams and draft Kaman Malash. The Wolves commit $334 million to Robert Goubert, Naj Reid, and Julius Randle. From contenders to rebuilders, everybody's stacking the paint. The Thunder-proof bigs can still win rings, and now the copycats are coming in fast. Man, I cannot stand that about the NBA. Another winner is the Denver Nuggets. A quiet reload they're doing. Denver didn't panic. They got smart after losing MPJ and Russ. The Nuggets added Cam Johnson, was a pretty good move, elite shooter. Great fit with Jokic. They brought back Bruce Brown. They got Valanciunas, like I said, to back up Jokic. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought that was a big pickup. They gave up some size with APJ, but gained offensive versatility and bench. The 2025-26 Nuggets are deeper, more adaptable, and still anchored by two-time MVP. This team's not done chasing rings, man. They still got a good team. Another loser is the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Yeah, we don't know what's going on with the Bucks, man. From contender to cautionary tale. 2 years ago, the Bucks were all in. Now they're picking up the pieces. I don't think they want to spend big money. They waived Damon Lillard after his Achilles injury, stretching $113 million over 5 years. That's $22.5 million per season in dead cap. They lost Connaughton and grabbed Miles Turner, sure, but it's not enough. No youth, no assets, and they're counting on Kevin Porter to run point. If Giannis doesn't start making noise soon, this team could fall apart fast. Another winner we're calling is Atlanta Hawks, man. Building the right way around Trey. I think they're doing a good job. Atlanta's flying under the radar, and it's a mistake if you don't see what they're doing, man. They got Porzingis, gives them some size and some spacing. They got Kennard, replaces LeVert with elite shooting. They got Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels at perimeter defense. And on draft night, they finessed the Pelicans, flipping picks and walking away with unprotected 2020-26. First, that could be a lottery pick, man. Surrounding Trey with elite defenders is a smart move. They may finally crack the top 4 in the East, man. That's good for them. Another loser is the New Orleans Pelicans, man. Draft disaster, fit issues. New Orleans, what are y'all doing? They gave Atlanta a lottery pick just to move up for Derek Queen, who overlaps with Zion in all the wrong ways. Then they flipped CJ McCollum and Olenek for Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey, basically swapping experience for chaos. They added Kevon Looney, but spacing is a nightmare. Zion, Queen, Macy, Looney, 4 non-shooting bigs. This team is going nowhere fast. Don't understand what they're doing, but maybe Dumar's got a plan that we don't see. So we did see Mo Ragnar go back to Orlando, $5 million, solid bench score. Suns bring in veteran depth, hoping to offload Beal. Still something they're trying to do. OKC extends Jalen Williams, keeping their title trio of bigs. 3 days into free agency, and the landscape is already shaking. KD in Houston, Dame out, bigs are dominating the market, and the Lakers are looking bad. So I can smile. Denver's reloading. What's your take? What made the smartest move? Who's getting exposed? Drop it in the comments when you can and hit that sub button. This has been Habari Sports. I'm Damon Ellison. Stay locked in for this last segment. We're going to talk about some comic books. Let's go. We can't run that though. Unless we mute it. Can we mute it? All right, let's do comics before we can get up out of here. We just wanted to talk about the last couple episodes. You want to go ahead and run it? Go ahead, run it. You can do it all.
I can do it all? Okay. All right. Well, this week we're going to dive into Ironheart. The final 3 episodes of Ironheart, and let me tell you, the show did not come to play. We're talking about demonic contracts, magical armor, and yes, y'all, Sacha Baron Cohen is finally Mephisto. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you haven't, go watch it. That was y'all spoiler right there. That's right. The most speculated villain since WandaVision finally shows up and does not disappoint. The last 3 episodes are packed. So let's go ahead and break it down for you from Easter eggs to in-game setups. Episode 4, The Devil You Know. We start off in Chicago where things are already off the rails. Riri's suit starts glitching with red energy. This is definitely not normal. And her AI, AMEE, detects chronic energy signatures. Straight up Wanda vibes, right? You think. With the red aura pulsing through the streets, the first real sign of Mephisto's shadow is over this whole thing. And when Riri digs into the legend, the man beneath the flame, that's your first hard confirmation that you're entering demon territory. And that alley scene at the end, red eyes flicker, smoke rises. It's not a tease anymore. That's Mephisto. He's here. And Riri's tech just stepped into his world. I'm telling y'all, we move on into episode 5 where it's soul for soul. This is a big one. Sacha Baron Cohen makes his entrance as Mephisto, and y'all, this is no joke of a character. He's smooth, he's creepy, and somehow he's still hilarious. And in that, I'll eat your soul, but make you laugh first kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
He tells Riri that you didn't build yourself. I gave you the spark.
Mm-hmm.
That line sends instant chills. He's rewriting Riri's origin with one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker Robbins, aka the Hood, he's now fully possessed. His powers are straight up hellborn. His demonic glyphs, hellfire weaponry. It's giving Ghost Rider appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Prequel. And when Mephisto offers Riri her mom's protection in exchange for her soul. Classic Mephisto. The devil's bargain moment was emotional. And Riri's tearful refusal just as the chef's kiss.
Yeah, so
as we move on
episode 6, Iron and Fire in the finale. The finale was wild, man. Riri refuses Wakandan shaman tech and arc reactor core engineering and builds the soul core armor. She's a Doctor Strange in a mech suit, so that was pretty dope, man.
Yep.
She fights Mephisto on the astral plane, and it, I guess it wasn't a fight, but she talks to him. It's kind of what are they talking about? But anyway,
yeah, I mean, she kind of plays this mirror-esque kind of trick on Mephisto, kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's, fracturing math and quantum mapping.
Mm-hmm.
She also mentioned that Tony Stark was a billionaire, so he didn't really need much for him to be seen.
A lot of people were pissed about that. She said that.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark built this in the cave. He still had $1 billion. It doesn't take that away. So,
but here's the twist: Mephisto lets her win, and that smile, that line, "You're fun, I'll wait." That's villain foreshadowing if we've ever seen it before.
Yeah. He's playing a long game, and that flaming rift at the end, that's your multiverse doorway. Secret Wars setup confirmed, man. Confirmed. Go ahead, switch it, bro. Easter eggs and hidden details. Let's hit you with the sun blink and you'll miss it. Easter eggs, the red crystal from episode 4, the shard of the Bloodstone, Elsa Bloodstone crossover maybe. The Stratch name Faustus in the mirror plane, deep cut. Mephisto's realm connects to Ghost Rider and Midnight Suns. So that's pretty dope. And the post-credit scenes, Doctor Strange reading the incarnation of flames. The forge of iron cannot hold the Lord of Lies. Yeah, that's Mephisto's return tease. So, man, my final thoughts on this. It's I thought Ironheart went way beyond expectations to me, man. It was smart writing, bold visuals, and finally some mystical stakes tied to a take-based hero. It's the kind of genre fusion Marvel needs way more of, man.
And Sacha Baron Cohen, he just stole every scene. He didn't just play Mephisto, he became Mephisto.
Definitely.
With chaotic, seductive, and terrifying. Is the perfect setup for phase 6. And I do just want to go ahead and address the comments here. Yes, from Troy. Yes, we do work with sponsors. If you do want to sponsor us, please email us at info@habarientertainment.com, or you could give us a call at 602-718-7927. We are gladly able to speak with you over the phone or through email. Email may be your best option to contact us. So that's why I'm giving you that. info@habarientertainment.com. Story suggestions? Yes, we take those. Topic suggestions? We do take those as well. If there is someone that you would like us to interview that is an expert in a specific topic or area, please send them our way. We will get them on the show.
That's real. So what do you think, man? Was Mephisto worth the wait? Are we seeing the rise of Marvel's magical street level saga? It looks good to me, man. I really liked it, man.
Yep. So again, go ahead and drop your comments in that section, smash that like button, and hit the subscribe on Habari Live on YouTube. Don't forget that notification bell. And for Comic Book Corner, we got more coming for you as we're going to dive into Daredevil Born Again, the Fantastic Four, and all those that Marvel Animation sneak peeks next.
All right, man. So until next time, keep your tech charged and your soul unclaimed. This is Comic Book Corner. Peace.
Holla, holla.
And
thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook.